Hey guys, it's Mike Chen. Kung Fu, Qigong, martial arts, these are topics I'm really interested in because ever since I was little, I have always wanted to be a martial arts superhero. And the reason I was so fascinated with Kung Fu and martial arts and Qigong is that I feel like there's still so much about these age-old fighting arts that we have yet to fully understand. And because of this, some aspects of ancient martial arts are sometimes painted as mysterious and mystical because they teach certain skills that don't always seem physically possible at first glance. Sometimes these skills involve breaking through layers of bricks, or the ability to bend a sharp spear with your throat, or it could be lethal techniques that demand focus, determination, and years of training in order to master them. And the secrets behind them are passed down to a very select few from one generation to the next. And one of these lethal techniques that dances between reality and fantasy is known as the touch of death. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. The touch of death goes by many names. In China, it is known as the Denmak, while in Japan, a fighting style involving pressure point fighting is referred to as Kyosho-jutsu. Also called death point striking, this deadly martial arts technique, when done right, could potentially kill an opponent by striking a specific area of the body with a seemingly gentle but devastating critical force. Now, the Chinese term Denmak literally translates in English to, which suggests that this technique requires applying pressure to an artery in order to work. And according to martial artists who claim they know how to use this lethal move, this technique has a delayed effect when used. So at first, this strike may seem harmless, but an individual could suddenly die from it without notice several weeks or even months later. So what is the origin of the Denmak? Well, the use of the touch of death had been largely mentioned in wuxia literature or Chinese martial arts drama comics. In these stories, the Denmak is painted as a highly specialized fighting style, which involves targeting the pressure points of enemies and disrupting the flow of their chi or life energy. And in these literary works, those who were attacked with this method would end up paralyzed or dead, whether immediately or delayed. Now, in reality, the history of Denmak can be traced back to traditional Chinese medicine, particularly acupuncture, though there are also suggestions that it was developed by the same person who created the Chinese martial arts Tai Chi. It is also believed that the deadly art of Denmak largely influenced the philosophies and development of other Chinese martial arts, and even those combat disciplines that originated in Korea and Japan. Though the death point striking move is noted by some people to have played a crucial role in the spread of martial arts across the globe, the knowledge of how to use this fighting style remains largely unknown. Supposedly, only a few chosen martial artists are trusted by even fewer masters to learn this technique, which is why it has managed to remain a heavily guarded secret. However, in recent years, more and more self-proclaimed martial arts masters have stepped into the limelight, proclaiming their knowledge about the Denmak and their ability to use it. And among the numerous martial arts masters who reveal their intimate knowledge of the death touch technique is karate instructor George Dillman. In the 90s, Dillman created a fighting style inspired by Kyosho-jutsu. And not only did he claim that he knew how to use the touch of death in combat, he also revealed that he was able to develop chi-based techniques that did not require coming into contact with his opponents. However, a study of his fighting techniques by experts and skeptics concluded that his proclamations were really fraudulent. Another martial artist who claimed to be a master of Denmak is Iro Montague. He even released books and videos about the technique around the 1980s, heralding himself as the first Western master in the art of Tai Chi Chuan or Tai Chi. He also disclosed that he learned from several Chinese martial arts masters on how to use the death point striking technique, as well as other fighting maneuvers that disrupt the chi inside the human body. Like Dillman, though, the majority of the public were really not so inclined to believe him. So, is the touch of death really real? With individuals revealing themselves to be practitioners of this mysterious and controversial technique, one really can't help but wonder if the touch of death is indeed the real deal. Those who believe in the existence and effectiveness of the Denmak use the death of Bruce Lee as an example of how lethal this martial arts technique truly is. Of course, this accomplished martial artist and film superstar was revealed to have perished from cerebral edema, and his demise was officially classified as a death by misadventure due to a deadly reaction to combined medication. However, speculation suggests that his sudden death was a delayed effect of a Denmark strike from a fellow martial arts master who was ordered to eliminate him. Of course, there is no proof to such rumors, but even years after Li's untimely death, many still found it very suspicious that he died so suddenly and at a relatively young age. It was also widely known that he had his fair share of enemies within the martial arts community during his short life. For now though, we really don't have enough scientific and historical evidence to say with absolute certainty that the touch of death is indeed an effective and deadly technique. What we do know is that subjecting certain areas of the human body to immense pressure or trauma can result in unexpected scales of damage or injury to the person attacked, sometimes even death. A good example of this is a condition known as commotio cordis, and it may seem like something plucked out of a movie, but there are incredibly rare instances wherein a person can actually die after receiving a blow to the chest. And this could happen if the strike lands at a critical moment while the heart is beating. The blow could disrupt its rhythm and result to cardiac arrest. Even with medical intervention, this lethal condition has a fatality rate around 65%. Another real-life medical example similar to how the Denmark strike works is by blocking the blood flow to the brain via the carotid artery. Applying pressure to this common artery will not only result to unconsciousness, but it may also lead to brain damage. But with that said, even to this day, the touch of death remains a very curious mystery. But I do know some people who have mastered it, or a variation of it. You know, like Spock with his nerve pinch, or Doctor Who with his Venusian Aikido, and Kung Fu Panda with his Wuxi finger hold. But in all seriousness, do I believe that this technique is real? I personally do. Because as we all know, the body is still a huge mystery. And Eastern medicine and combat and martial arts deal so much with certain pressure points. And when this is brought up nowadays, a lot of people kind of laugh at it. For example, in Chinese medicine, there's acupuncture, which really relies on pressure points and arteries and energy channels to heal the body. And I find it really annoying that some people nowadays, when you bring up acupuncture, they consider it like a fringe science, like this is something kind of crazy. But that's literally how Chinese doctors were effectively healing sick people for thousands of years. So yeah, I do feel like there are a lot of things about the body that we don't understand. So could there be a technique where I hit somebody in a specific point with a certain degree of pressure that they go off and die after a couple months? Hey, why not? But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you later.